It's our pleasure to welcome you to your friendly drive-in theater. For the information of those who are attending the drive-in for the first time, the following hints will make you feel at home and add to your enjoyment. Firstly, if you've not already done so, remove the speaker from the stand and place it in your car. Secondly, adjust the volume control to suit your requirements. Right for loud, left for soft. We must issue this warning. No attempt should be made to disconnect the speaker. To do so will immediately register a red light in our control room. Our ultra-modern snack bar is now open and ready to serve you. How about fresh fillets of fish with chips and salad? Tender steak with eggs, chips and salad. A big cup of hot chips or fish and chips. Thick, crunchy hamburger. Giant-size hot dogs laced with sauce or mustard. Banana fritters with rich, full cream. Steaming hot coffee. Icy orange or lemon drink. Smooth, creamy ice cream. And a great range of sweets and chocolates. Our snack bar is open for service. One final word. Before leaving, replace the speaker on its stand, then drive forward and move to your left. You must never reverse out of your position. Thanks, everyone. We trust you have a very pleasant evening.
This show is about the Wilhelm scream, which, if you're not familiar, it is a sound effect found in many movies and TV shows and video games and commercials, audiobooks. I'm not sure about that last one, but it's everywhere. What is it? It's a stock sound effect that was recorded in 1951 by actor Sheb Wooley. You may know him better as the singer of the Purple People Eater. Here he is. He's a musician, character actor. I remember he was one of the coaches in the movie Hoosiers. He's down there standing behind Gene Hackman. But so this is the guy whose voice is the one screaming. That sounds like this. That's him. Okay. Why is this scream in so many movies? Well, it was recorded for a particular movie. I believe it was called Distant Drums. As a matter of fact, I have the recording right here. Let me go to it. Where is it? Here it is. This is the actual recording of this sound effect. This is a video that you can find on YouTube.
A man getting bit by an alligator and he screams. Okay, quiet. Hey, quiet. Sit down, towards me. Okay, right. Oh! Oh!
The first one you did up here was much better.
Oh!
No, not an owl. A real scream of pain.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
I'll go through.
Okay, so that was the recording of the Wilhelm scream. He did a number of takes, and the one that sounds like this is the one that's used most often. So let's start the top 15 list. I will start this out by showing you the first 3 movies that this sound effect was ever used in. So number 15, where is it? Here we go. The movie Distant Drums. Sheb Wooley played an uncredited part in this, and he provided those screams. So he was called in to record some screams for this movie. What you're about to see, the 1951 movie Distant Drums, which is a Gary Cooper movie. Am I right about that? Yeah, I think I am. the first time you see it in the first time you hear it in the movie, it's a attack. Indians are attacking a fort or something. I don't know. So I'm going to play it for you right now. The very first instance of the Wilhelm scream in a movie. The movie is called Distant Drums. Here we go. Three times. A little bit longer. So it was used, they used 3 different takes there for that attack. And you could hear the Wilhelm scream used. First time it was ever used. Now, when I played you the recording session of the Wilhelm scream, the guy doing the recording called it Man Gets Attacked by an Alligator. That's what this is. Same movie, Distant Drums. And here's the Wilhelm scream that is used most often. There it was. And that was Gary Cooper there. Did Timothy Rainwaters, did that happen? Congrats. Nice. That's very exciting. Okay, so let's continue on. Number 14. The next movie was used the next year, 1952. This is a movie called Springfield Rifle, also a Gary Cooper movie. And this one used that same scream. Here it is.
Now get after your men. They're scattered in a herd all over the mountain.
All right, there it was. Okay, now the third movie it was used in, and the reason why it's called the Wilhelm scream is because a character named Wilhelm gets shot in the leg with an arrow, and he does the scream. Ben Burt, who did the sound for the original Star Wars movies, the audio engineer, always loved that scream. More on that in a second. Here is The Charge at Feather River, not a Gary Cooper movie, but this is where the name Wilhelm comes from.
Wilhelm! Yeah, I'll just fill my pipe.
So it was used 3 times in that movie. All right. And it was used after that, but not much. In 1977, they're making Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Audio engineer Ben Burt, who he and his buddy always, in their student films, would use that Wilhelm scream. They found it, and they would use it in their student films. Here he is in 1977, 1976, 77. He's doing the sound design for Star Wars, and he decides, without telling anybody, nobody asked for it, he puts the Wilhelm scream in Star Wars. It's a scene on the Death Star. Luke Skywalker shoots a stormtrooper who falls down the whatever. Here it is in Star Wars. Okay, there it was. Now, the rest of these will, after this one, will be all Disney. I guess Star Wars is a Disney property now. Okay, so here we are in 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark. During the truck automobile chase, you'll hear it. All right, there it was. Now, Disney movies. Here we go. Now, by now, other sound designers are in on the joke. and they are putting it in their movies, and it's gaining popularity. It's an inside joke in Hollywood now. Number 10 is from Beauty and the Beast. Near the end of the movie, during the siege of the castle, and Belle and her father are being rescued, and right after you see Chip dangling there on screen, they cut to the castle, and the riot going on, and that's where you'll hear the scream. So here it is, number 10, Beauty and the Beast.
You guys gotta try this thing.
There it was. Okay. Number 9, Monsters University. By the way, it's in a lot of Disney stuff. Monsters University. This is Mike Wazowski studying to become a scare monster employee graduate thing. He's riding a floor sweeper, and he's so into his studies, he's running over other students, and one of those screams. So here's Monsters University. There it was. Okay. Next, number 8, live action Disney. This is Enchanted from 2007, near the end of the movie, where Susan Sarandon's character becomes a dragon or something. So, and it's right at the beginning of that where you will hear the Wilhelm scream. Now, quite often in these movies, the sound designer will put the Wilhelm scream in there, but will alter it a little bit, which is the case for this one, number 7. This is the movie Up, and it's where they're being attacked by a pack of dogs. And when the dogs are going over the cliff is where you will hear the scream. So it's going to sound, it won't sound quite like this. It'll sound a little bit different, but it is, make no mistake, the Wilhelm scream. So here it is from 2009. Mary Ellen, welcome in. Okay, number 6 from 1995, a Goofy movie. And this is during a musical number where they're on the road and Goofy is driving, but he is the world's worst driver and probably should go to prison for his... he almost killed some people here. So right after he drives into a scaffolding, you will hear the Wilhelm scream. So here it is, a Goofy movie.
Though I may be in traction when I do.
There it was. Okay. Goofy's the worst. All right. Number 5, this is Avengers Infinity War from 2018. And this is where Iron Man and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, they're on the space vessel. And they're going against the guy that looks like Squidward. And they've come up with this plan to defeat him, to get him off of the spaceship. So you will hear it after Tony Stark, after Iron Man blows up the side of the spaceship, and Squidward is sucked into space. That's where you will hear the scream. So Avengers Infinity War.
Your powers are inconsequential compared to mine.
Yeah, but the kid's seen more movies.
There it was. That one was obscured by other sounds, but it's there. You know, they don't want to, they want to be delicate about it. They want to put it in there, but not hidden, but, they don't want it to be the loudest sound, I think. Number 4 is the movie Cars in 2006. This is early on in the movie, and it's where Lightning McQueen, it's a dream sequence. He's dreaming about being sponsored by Dynaco. And it is in this dream sequence where Sparkplug robot monsters are shooting lasers at cars. And it's one where one car gets zapped, and that's where you hear the Wilhelm scream. So here it is, Cars. There it was. Sounded a little different, like they tweaked it a tiny bit. Number 3, Hercules from 1997. This is during a scene where people are scurrying about. It's chaos, and you hear the Wilhelm scream within that chaos. There it was. Number 2, a similar scene where there's chaos going on. This is where the genie is giant genie, and he's picking up the castle or the city. I don't remember what he's picking up, but it is in that scene. Right after Aladdin whistles for the carpet, you will hear the Wilhelm scream. So here it is, number 2, Aladdin. There it was. Okay. And number 1 is from Toy Story. And this is, you can't miss this one. And it's, the scream is quite loud in this scene. And it's where Buzz Lightyear is inadvertently knocked into Sid's yard next door. So, here it is, Toy Story. All right, that was that.
We hope you're enjoying your visit here this evening. Now, on with the show.
Let's get into the top 15 list. Okay, in the first Avengers movie, near the end, the final battle in New York, Captain America gets a laser blast in the side, and here you see it. This is it. But moments later, when Tony Stark falls from the sky after saving the world, Captain America rushes in, and lo and behold, he no longer has that wound, and his costume, his outfit, his uniform, perfect, as if nothing happened. Number 14 on my list of movie mistakes. Oh, Forrest Gump. Okay, so this is one I actually wasn't aware of. I read about it, and somebody can clue me in to whether this is accurate or not, because I actually read about this one, but I thought it was interesting because it was a bit different than all the others. At the end of Forrest Gump, or near the end of Forrest Gump, spoiler alert, it shows here that Lieutenant Dan invested some money in Apple, early Apple stock. Now, here's what I'm unclear about. I read that this scene takes place in 1975. However, Apple stock did not go public until 1980. So therein lies this unusual movie mistake. Or not unusual, but just unique, because it's different than every other mistake on my list. So Apple had its IPO in 1980, I guess, and I wasn't aware when this scene takes place, but I read that it was 1975. So they could not have purchased Apple stock 5 years before it was available. Number 13 on my list. Again, I don't have videos for these first ones. Superman the movie. I've seen this movie a bunch of times, especially growing up. It was on cable or whatever. And this picture is hard to see, but I just I got it maybe 25 minutes ago, right before I went live. Marlon Brando plays Jor-El, the father of Superman. And near the beginning of the movie, he's putting baby Kal-El, who becomes Superman, in his little asteroid rocket to be sent off to Earth. Well, Jor-El's never been to Earth. He's only ever been to Krypton, we assume. But the actor, Marlon Brando, and I know this is difficult to see, but in a scene where he's putting the baby in there, you can see Marlon Brando's watch, clearly an Earth-made watch on his wrist there. All right, let's get to number 12. Number 12 movie mistake on my list here. All right, Rumble in the Bronx. This was Jackie Chan's first major U.S. release. He had been in movies before, but this stars Jackie Chan. It was made with the United States in mind. It takes place in the Bronx, but I don't know if you can tell in the background of this picture how just not in the Bronx they are. It appears there's a mountain range back there, and you can see it quite often in the movie. And it's kind of charming, actually, because we know they made this movie in Asia and for a U.S. market, but I guess they could not get around with these wide shots here, seeing the mountains in the background. Number 11 on my list of movie mistakes here. All right, here's a movie I've never seen. It's Bad Boys from 1983. This is not the Will Smith and Martin Lawrence movie. And I don't know how, I've never seen the movie. I don't know how long this lasts, but they're fighting. These two characters are fighting. And apparently the scene is quite chaotic. Well, in this still shot, you can see a second unit film crew right there filming. So this one is from Elf, the movie Elf. And now there's a couple of mistakes going on here. So I'm going to play this and stop it. There we go. Okay. So here's the scene. All right, let me stop it there. See that Coke bottle on the very right? Now immediately with the cut, Buddy the Elf goes to chugging the bottle. Let me start that again. There's a Coke bottle there on the right. I circled it for you. In the very next shot, Buddy is holding it. So that's a bit of a mistake there too. Now this next one is a mistake I understand because of product placement. Now, Buddy is chugging this 2-liter of Coke. When he raises it up, I'll stop it there. The label is not facing the camera. Now, as a movie maker, being aware that Coca-Cola is paying a bunch of money to you to showcase their product, they're going to want their label shown. So in the very next shot, which is supposed to be seamless, but the label faces the camera. There. James Bond, 007, Quantum of Solace. I'm going to play the scene once and let you see if you can find the film flub. Okay. That was fast. That went by really quick. Let me play it again, perhaps. Oh, I went back too far. All right. Here it is. Really fast. Okay. So let me slow it down. This is the case of an extra doing what he thinks he should be doing, but not doing it right. So this extra in the background is holding a broom. All he has to do is pretend to sweep with it on the ground. The broom never touches the ground. So he's sweeping the air. Yeah, nothing happening there. I don't know if he's trying to swat bugs or I don't know what he's doing there. Okay, Toy Story. We have Toy Story here. There's a mistake in Toy Story. and it's physics. This is a scene near the end of the movie where Woody and the Misfit Toys, I don't know what they're called, are scheming. They're doing something. So let me play the scene here. Okay. Now, there's Ducky lifts the light bulb through the light bulb hole. That's a technical term. Okay, so the thing is, there's no way that light bulb and its housing could fit through that hole. It is meant to cover up the hole. So it's going to, its circumference is going to be larger than the hole. Alfred Hitchcock, North by Northwest. I'm going to play the scene for you and let you try to find the mistake. Now, fair warning, there is a gunshot in this, and it appears as though Cary Grant gets shot. He doesn't really. He died of natural causes many years later. But let me play the scene, and I just wanted that disclaimer beforehand. So here it is. And Russ has it. I see Russ put it there. There's a kid with his finger in his ears anticipating the shot. So let's play it. There he is, getting ready for the gunshot. He knows it's coming. Tina, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we're talking about movie mistakes. So I love Napoleon Dynamite. Is it a perfect movie? No. And I'll show you why. I'm going to play the scene. Let's go. This is Napoleon calling home to his brother, Kip. Kip is making himself a plate of nachos. All right. Kip answers the phone. All right. Let me pause it there. You see how much cheese is on the plate of nachos? Just pay attention to it. We'll come back to it a few times. Maybe 2 more times. And then the third time we come back to it, pay attention. Okay, so again, cheese is as it was before. Back to Napoleon. There's the cheese. Looks a little different, but it's fine. I can live with that. All right, now we're going to pay attention to the next one when we cut back to it. And he wants them to bring chapstick. And, oh my goodness, there's a mountain of cheese now on the plate. Now, here's the thing. That is a huge block of cheese. Here's the thing about this. I don't know if this was the filmmakers having fun and realizing that this is just ridiculousness, or it's truly a mistake. I'm leaning toward this is purposeful, but I don't know why. It certainly breaks continuity. But if you notice during the scene, Kip keeps looking back at his nachos for no reason. Why is he monitoring his nachos? Nothing's going to happen to them. And then in this final cut back to Kip, there is now a mountain of cheese. Jaws, one of my favorites. This was on the list that Keith and I went over on Sunday. So Jaws, if you're not familiar, what? But if you're not familiar, this takes place on the East Coast during the first week of July. A very hot time of year. Yes, this takes place. I guess like it's supposed to be the Cape Cod area. It's Amity Island, which doesn't really exist. But this scene, if I'm doing my calendar correctly, I think this scene takes place on July 3rd. So we know, because later the mayor says, tomorrow's the 4th of July and it's going to be the best one we ever had, or whatever he says. I don't know what he says, but take a look at the trees on the left. There are no leaves on those trees. And you may be asking yourself, how did that happen? the movie Jaws was supposed to be done in maybe 2 months. So they started in May, and they were to film in Massachusetts for 2 months. Now, famously, there were a lot of delays for the movie Jaws, for the filming. Notably, the mechanical shark gave them a lot of problems. And they went months and months and months beyond their deadline, beyond their scheduled shoot days. All right, look at the chief. Chief Brody is walking. Now, I know it's the morning, but it's the morning in July. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's wearing toques or winter hats. Everybody's got a coat or jacket on. Harbor Master Frank Silva's bundled up. Because this scene was shot in the autumn. Okay. This is famous. Maybe you've heard about this. The cowboy in Pirates of the Caribbean. What's Mike Wheeler saying here? Jim, you never know. Is it possible snow in Colorado City tonight, even though the rest of... there is I heard about the snow in Colorado. Is that really happening? But even if it does snow, I'm sure there are still leaves on those trees. I don't really know. Good. That's you make a good point, Mike. Pirates of the Caribbean. All right, let me play the scene and see if you can catch the cowboy. This is right near the end of the movie. Captain Jack gets the Black Pearl back, and he's very happy, and then he realizes everybody's staring at him, and he yells at him. And then it's very quick. You missed it. If you didn't see the cowboy, here it is. Do you see him? Over on the left. That's where the circle is supposed to be. That was in the Jaws clip. Yeah, this is clearly a crew member that probably thought he was not on camera, and it went by very quick. So I had heard about this years ago and then had noticed it since, and then I put this together, of course. Here's one of my favorites. This is The Godfather, a nearly perfect movie, one of the greatest American movies ever made. And whenever I've seen a list or a video compilation of movie mistakes, I don't know if I've ever heard about this one, but I see it every time I watch The Godfather. If you're not familiar with The Godfather, what? But if you're not familiar with The Godfather, this scene in particular, James Caan, who we saw in the Elf scene earlier, he is mad at Carlo, who is his brother-in-law, but beat his wife, who is Sonny's James Caan's sister. I'm sure there's a better way I can explain this. Anyway, so James Caan's character Sonny is coming to beat up Carlo. So I'm going to let it play. Here we go. And that was it. And I see that every time. So okay. It's this punch in particular. I mean, this is it. It's a fight sequence. They're far away from the camera, but this punch misses the mark so badly, Wanda. I wish it were perfect. It is not, and I'm showing you why. James Caan doesn't want to hit the other actor. I can't remember his name. But yeah, does not even come close. All right. If you're not familiar with this mistake in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, you're about to see it. This is where Luke and Han and Obi-Wan and the droids are coming to save Princess Leia on the Death Star. And our heroes are trapped in the trash compactor. But while that's happening, these stormtroopers barge their way into this room, and the stormtrooper on the right hits his head on the door, and it made it into the movie. Right there.
Take over. Take over. Take over.
Yeah. Hello, Cricket Fox.
Take over. DJ him.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to show the name of the character, the name of the teacher character on the screen behind me like this, number 15. And frankly, I haven't seen most of these movies. But that's not going to stop me from talking about them. Elizabeth Halsey at number 15, and I will now show you a picture of this character. This is from the 2011 movie Bad Teacher. As a middle school teacher that embodies every negative stereotype about teachers, Cameron Diaz finally learns her lesson, turns things around, and becomes, gasp, a guidance counselor. I have not seen this movie. I don't know much about it. I think it's a comedy. I'm guessing it's a comedy. I think Justin Timberlake is in it. But I can't be 100% certain about that. So there we go. On Fandango's list, their most recent movie teacher is from 2011. So now they're going to get progressively older. So now, number 14 on the list. The character's name is Aaron Gruwell. I have not seen this movie either. Let's take a look at which movie this is. This is Freedom Writers from 2007. Hilary Swank faces many challenges in her new assignment at a troubled high school. In the end, her personal determination to help the kids is what ultimately makes a difference. Freedom Writers. I haven't seen it. All right. Number 13, Catherine Ann Wilson. Let's get it ready up here. Yet another movie I have not seen. That is Julia Roberts in the movie Mona Lisa Smile from 2003. Catherine Ann Wilson wants to teach her conservative young female college students to question what they've learned, not merely impart knowledge, a radical idea in the early 1950s. She succeeds eventually. So far, I haven't seen any of these movies. Donna is also 0 for 3. But Laura saw it. Great movie, she says. And now, is this, not knowing anything about it, is this the female version of Dead Poets Society? I don't know. But the era is the same, and kind of the story, is that the same? She's teaching her conservative young female college students to question, I guess Dead Poets Society was not to question what they've learned, but to appreciate poetry. I don't remember. It's been about 30 years since I've seen that movie. All right. Number 12, Dewey Finn. This is the first movie that I have seen. And I'm guessing a number of you, most of you, have seen this film. The financially desperate Dewey Finn, played by Jack Black, pretends to be his best friend and takes a gig as a substitute teacher at a prep school, only to find his true calling, Teaching Kids How to Rock. This is from 2003's The School of Rock. I have seen this one, finally. And I actually show this in my class sometimes. It's a good one. And Andrew Lloyd Webber went on to write a Broadway musical about this. Did it make Broadway? Well, anyway, he wrote a musical. I'm assuming it went to Broadway. But yeah, School of Rock. Andrew Lloyd Webber loved the story of the teacher and music appreciation, and he made a stage musical of it, in which he used some of the songs from the movie and wrote some new ones. You can look it up on YouTube. It's there. Next, number 11, Aldous Dumbledore. I've seen this movie. And the movie in particular that they reference here is the very first Harry Potter movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Headmaster at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Aldous Dumbledore, here played by Richard Harris, has a commanding, stately presence, although he has a gentle and kind personality that will serve his students well. Is he really a teacher, or is he more of an administrator? Fandango, I don't want to tell you how to make a list, but I don't remember seeing him teach a class. I think he was more of the head of the school, the warden, if you will. No, I don't know. No, that was Azkaban, right? Nick would say, I would say mentor. Yes. Yeah. So I think they've got this wrong. Coming up, though, I have some honorable mentions that did not make the list that were some of the first teachers I thought of. So we'll get to that right before number 1. All right, next. Number 10, Charles Xavier. I saw this a long time ago. I have not many memories of the movie from 2000 called X-Men. Here he is. Who wouldn't want a telepathic, cool, wheelchair-driving Patrick Stewart for their professor? We'd love to be Xavier's teaching assistant, especially for Danger Room 101. Was that in the movie? I don't remember Danger Room 101, or are they just being silly on this list? I don't know. But frankly, if you've got can he read your minds? I don't even know. I'm not a big X-Men aficionado, but if there's one teacher you absolutely can't cheat in his class, it's probably him. Not that I'm condoning cheating. I'm just saying, for those that cheat, that it would be really hard there. But if you are a mutant with powers, you've got other things going for you. All right. That's Picard, who is a mentor of sorts. Captain. Yes. Engage. That's right. He was a telepathic. Could he read your mind, or could he put things in your mind? I don't know. It doesn't matter. All right, let's move on. Number 9, Jim McAllister. I saw this movie once upon a time. I actually think I saw it in movie theaters. This is from 1999. The movie is Election. Nebraska high school teacher Jim McAllister, played by Matthew Broderick, faces his greatest challenge in his overeager, dishonest, and disingenuous student Tracy Flick, played by Reese Witherspoon. It's a fight to the finish. And if you haven't seen it, it's a different movie. I don't have many memories of it, other than I remember Matthew Broderick's character getting stung in the eyelid, or stung in the eye by a bee, and his eye swells up for the end of the movie, among other things. I think is it a dark comedy? I don't remember much about it, other than Reese Witherspoon played a really good person you don't want to like. Yeah, good performances. All right. Number 8. We are counting down, well, you can see it at the bottom of the screen. Fandango's top 15 greatest teachers in movies. Not my list. Number 8, Rosemary Cross. This is a great movie that we enjoy in this house and have since its release in 1998. Let's see Rosemary Cross here. There she is. This is the movie Rushmore. Rosemary Cross, played by Olivia Williams, is a teacher who has just lost her husband, so she's quite alarmed at the eccentric devotion of Max, played by Jason Schwartzman, as she enters into a relationship with Herman, played by Bill Murray. Yet she maintains her high standards, both professionally and personally. Max, shown pictured here, is quite fond of Miss Cross, who is a elementary school teacher at the neighboring school, if I remember correctly, and she finds him amusing, but certainly doesn't want a relationship with him as he does with her. But instead, she starts dating Bill Murray's character, and there's a part in the movie where Max, Jason Schwartzman, and Bill Murray's character are kind of doing battle with each other. And it's a great movie, and Max Fisher is a fantastic character. Next, number 7. Excuse me. On Fandango's list, they have listed Sherman Klump, but I went in myself and added Julius Kelp. And I'm guessing many of you know which teacher and which movies these are. This is The Nutty Professor, and Fandango only mentioned the 1996 film, and I neglected to write down when Jerry Lewis's The Nutty Professor was released. Not that it matters, but so Fandango says about Sherman Klump, his outward appearance may be ungainly, but Professor Sherman Klump, played by Eddie Murphy, is kind, thoughtful, and rather brilliant, though it takes a few failed experiments for him to learn that lesson. And Jerry Lewis, his alter ego, was he called Buddy Love in the movie? And he was a super cool guy, but kind of a jerk. I don't think I saw the entire movie, but I've seen parts of the original Nutty Professor, and I'm not sure I've seen Eddie Murphy's version at all. Just clips on the on television and whatnot. Hercules, like that. Like I've seen that. 1963. Thank you, Dean. And PTV. Thank you for that. All right, where are we? Number 6. Glenn Holland. Some of you might be able to glean which movie this is by the name Glenn Holland. I'll probably reveal the picture before you put it in the chat for me to see, but just to keep things moving along. But here's a picture of Glenn Holland, played by Richard Dreyfuss. This is Mr. Holland's opus from 1995. An eager musician but reluctant teacher, Mr. Holland, played by Richard Dreyfuss, discovers that he has a secret talent for inspiring his high school students, even though it's a talent he's slow to acknowledge. I think I saw part of this movie, but not the whole thing. And looking at this picture, and I'm thinking of another movie I haven't seen, but a more recent movie where there's a music teacher teaching a student that plays the drums, and it's now I can't think of it. It's J.K. Simmons was the teacher, and the kid that was in Top Gun Maverick and The Hunger Games, and I can't think of his name. What was that movie? I want to say Switchblade. I know that's not it. Now I'm really taking us off course here. But that's another teacher movie I didn't think of till now. Whiplash. And J.K. Simmons with Miles Teller. I thought of it on my own. Thanks, everybody, if you're going to put it in the chat. I did it. Oh, sorry. All right. Back to me. So that was Glenn Holland. So I haven't seen that movie completely either. Let's see. D&G Explorers, welcome in. Number 5, we're counting down Fandango's top 15 greatest teachers in movies. Number 5 is Luann Johnson. Another movie I have not seen. Here it is. That's Michelle Pfeiffer. And the movie is Dangerous Minds from 1995. Based on a true story, Michelle Pfeiffer stars as Luann Johnson, a former U.S. Marine who takes on the challenge of teaching a classroom filled with high school students with no desire to learn. With the help of Coolio's hit song, she helps turn them around. I don't think she used the song to turn them around. I think the song was a big part of the movie. Did it not win an Academy Award for Best Song in a Motion Picture or something? I don't know if that's true or not. But it was huge. It's such a big song that Weird Al made a parody of it. Okay, so you know it's big. Number 4 on our list, Veronica Vaughn. Just looking at the name, I don't remember. I have seen this movie. As a matter of fact, I worked at a movie theater when this movie was released in 1995. There's Ms. Vaughn. In the movie Billy Madison, third grade teacher Veronica Vaughn, played by Bridget Wilson, must put aside her personal distaste for Billy, played by Adam Sandler, a decision that is rewarded when Billy starts putting aside his irresponsible habits and slowly discovers he loves learning. I don't remember that part of the movie. It's been a while. But that was Adam Sandler's first big film, wasn't it? Billy Madison with Miss Vaughn. All right. Next. If you're just joining us, we're counting down Fandango's top 15 greatest teachers in movies, because today is National Teacher Appreciation Day. And this is the best I can do. Okay. Number 3, John Kimball. I have not seen this movie. This is Kindergarten Cop from 1990. The unlikeliest educator of children ever, Police Detective John Kimball, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, proves his bravery under fire as he faces his toughest assignment, teaching kindergarten. All right. I know the line, it's not a tumor. Maybe it's a tumor. It's not a tumor. Because he talks like Arnold. Okay. Number 2, John Keating. I've already mentioned this movie talking about another movie, comparing it to another movie. This is Dead Poets Society from 1989. English teacher John Keating, played by Robin Williams, seeks to inspire his students at an elite prep school in Vermont circa 1959. It's a tough ride, but most of them respond, finally, standing tall and saluting him. "Oh, Captain, my Captain." That's right. I've only seen this movie once. And it was a long time ago. So I don't have much else to say about it. I don't remember it. Carpe Diem. Oh, I guess I do remember that. Just checking over the chat. I apologize for ignoring the chat during my list. I hope you understand. Simba 2, did I welcome you? I think I did, but welcome in if I didn't. Okay, it's time for my honorable mention list. These are the teachers I first thought of when I was reading Fandango's top 15 list. So I'm going to put their pictures up. Where are they? Okay, the very first, this is weird. The very first teacher I thought of was Miss Shields. Anybody know where Miss Shields, what movie that's from? I'll just show you the picture. A Christmas Story. Yeah, I had to look up her name. I couldn't remember it, but she was the first teacher I thought of on this list. All right, where are my other pictures? Okay, another one is Woody Harrelson's character. Oh, wait a minute. From a movie called The Edge of 17. Here we go. There it is, with Haley Steinfeld. This was a pretty good movie. coming of age story about this girl in high school, and that's Woody Harrelson is her teacher, and she's kind of dramatic, and he doesn't really. He knows what he's dealing with, so he takes everything she says with a grain of salt, but also advises her, and it's a good movie. He's a good character. Woody Harrelson's good in that movie, as is Haley Steinfeld. What else? Of course, I'm guessing some of you are thinking of this guy, Ben Stiller, who, by the way, his character is listed as economics teacher. But we all know him as the dullest teacher in the world, the dullest teacher in cinema history, rivaled only that by the English teacher in the movie. But everybody remembers Ben Stein. And he was taught, I know I've seen behind the scenes of this, Ben Stein has talked about this, who has an economics background, and I think, if I remember correctly, John Hughes just said, can you just ramble on about something economics? So that's what Ben Stein was doing. He was just improvising what he says in the movie about the Smoot Hawley, whatever he talks about. Voodoo economics. Yeah. There's that. I think I just saw somebody mention this in the chat. Ryan did. Here we go. Indiana Jones. Do you remember? He's a teacher. So we've got that one. Another one I thought of too is Coach Calhoun from the movie Grease. What else we got? Oh, I don't remember this movie. I think I saw it. I don't remember it very well. But Stand and Deliver, which I believe was based on a true story. And that's Edward James Olmos playing Jaime Escalante. Yeah, I think that's a true story. And a movie I saw so many times growing up, it was on cable every day, was the movie Summer School with Mark Harmon. And he played a summer school teacher, Mr. Shoop. So I remember him. And I think this movie, was it not directed by Carl Reiner? I think it was. Anyway. And then perhaps I haven't made a list, and I haven't really seen any other list besides the one I stole today. But Sidney Poitier in To Sir with Love as Mark Thackeray. I've never seen this movie. I've only seen clips. I know the song To Sir with Love. But this is probably the original, like, Dangerous Mind. No, not Dangerous. Whatever the Michelle Pfeiffer movie was. This was kind of the first of that ilk. So, yeah. Is Rob Fuzz here? Welcome, Rob. All right, that leaves us with number 1, Mr. Hand. And this isn't... when I first saw Mr. Hand, I thought, Mr. Bill? Like the shorts from the original Saturday Night Live? No. Perhaps many of you already know this. I'll of course, show you the picture of Mr. Hand. From 1982's Fast Times at Ridgemont High. This is the first, number 1 on Fandango's list of greatest movie teachers. Aloha, Mr. Hand. As a stern U.S. history teacher, Ray Walston is strict but fair, resulting in an epic battle of wits with strung-out student Jeff Spicoli, played by Sean Penn. So this is number 1 on their list. If you had... oh, thanks, Ben. Carl Reiner did direct that. If you had other ones in the chat, I'm going to go back and look to see if anybody had other ones. Dean says the one with Morgan Freeman, and I can't remember what the... Ryan says Donald Sutherland from Animal House. He was certainly one, yes. And I hope I didn't miss any other ones. Oh, Fred McMurray, the absent-minded professor. Yes, as well. That was another Robin Williams' role too.